Well, back yet again, because y'all already know I tell y'all everything that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So can't nobody say that they was blindsided, because y'all know that these folks is listening to every doggone thing that I say. So after talking to the lady that I need to speak to about my daughter in her case, um, it's gonna go one or two ways. She said that she will contact the father where my daughter is currently at, to be able to have conversation. Now, the thing is, we're trying to figure out why, if her father knew about the situation when it happened, because y'all gotta understand, I am a mother and I'm a respectful mother, meaning anything that revolves around my children, I let the opposite parent know. Soon as this situation happened, I let her father know. He came by, he had a conversation with his daughters about what happened. He then that he left. I made the police report when the police got here, and that's it. So the thing is, when I made the other reports, one case was closed, one was archived, and we're trying to figure out why would the father not allow anyone to speak to his daughter about what happened. I mean, could anybody understand or make me understand or make us understand? Because nobody's making sense of this situation. If you know that someone asked your 9-year-old daughter for new pictures and you know that she sent them via online, Snapchat, or whatever, why would you not want to get your daughter any assistance with the situation? Because anybody could take those pictures and actually make money off of them. It's called child pornography. So this is going to go one or two ways. She said that she will contact the father about communicating with my daughter in the case and what happened. And if he refuses to actually communicate with them and will not allow them to speak to my daughter about the case, then they will look more into him to why he's trying to cover up or not get his daughter some help, which is what I've been saying the whole time. Because he's making it seem like everything is all good, but I'm not understanding. If you know that your daughter, like literally, he had to sit there and hold his daughter crying because she wanted to. Could y'all imagine? Now, Judge, I've been through a lot of things that would make me mentally flip out. As I was talking to my daughter's daddy earlier, even the police officer that you have in your courtroom or in juvenile building, he was really concerned and irritated about the situation as well, because he was just like, wait a minute, so these people are purposely trying to create chaos and problems. Once again, those individuals that had order of protection out against me should not have been in that courtroom, or they should not have been at the court date or hearing when it revolves my children. It was only supposed to and should be the fathers and the mother of these children, 8 children. So, Judge, yeah, you may have a point. I understand you want me to get a mental evaluation. Mentally, ain't nothing wrong with me, because mentally, with all this stuff going on, if I would have let it actually get to me and affect me in a way that would cause a mental issue, I mean, could you imagine your child being asked for nude pictures? And I actually told the police officer that I called that came to the house, I asked her the same thing. Could you imagine if it was your daughter and no one is giving you any help about it? Could you imagine if it was your daughter's father that's not allowing anyone to conversate with my child about the case? Now, because we are working with partnership now, they have all rights to ask any questions regarding this situation with my child being present. So, meaning they won't be able to say that I coerced my daughter to say anything, just like I didn't coerce her to say anything when I recorded the phone call that we had. Um, because that's an issue. Like, child pornography is an issue. Exploitation of children is an issue. I don't care who the person was asked for the pictures. It was a 9-year-old, a 9-year-old. I'm gonna say that again. A 9-year-old child that was asked for nude pictures of her private areas. Now, I don't know if my daughter's face was actually in the pictures. I do not know. I still have the phone that she has, so I don't know if they'll be able to get in her phone and actually get the pictures that she took. Y'all, I don't really use Snapchat that often, so I don't know if you can just take a picture I use Snapchat. Like I get on there, I take pictures and I save them to the memory. And I use them later on down the road on Facebook or something like that. But I haven't had Facebook in months and Sundays. So yeah, I don't really do too much with Snapchat or nothing like that. But still, I do believe, like we were discussing, that even if she may have taken the pictures via Snapchat, that they will still be saved in her phone. No, I did not look in the phone. Yes, I will give the investigator, officer, or whoever may be the phone so they can get in themselves and see the pictures. I do not want to see a picture of my child, whether it be her behind or a private area that she as well told y'all, for whoever's listening, y'all got her testimony of what she sent. And I'm still to this day kind of shaking up about it because I can't say kind of. I'm literally shaking as I'm talking about the situation because y'all, I was an underage child that went through sexual abuse in my home. Not to mention that the same home that, I'm not trying to be funny, Judge, but I told you in the courtroom that Dallas's girlfriend's son actually pulled my son's pants down and touched his behind. Now it's more than just me that knows about the situation. My son's father was actually living with me at the time that this happened. So he's aware of the situation as well as Danielle Mathis, which is my son's godmother. And I know y'all probably seen it in them inbox messages that she requested that I don't allow my children to go back over there because he was still living there. So it's a major concern for my children to even be living in the home with Dallas, which is their father, due to him not allowing my daughter to get help with this situation because it actually happened. And I don't know any father or any parent for that matter, or any guardian for that matter, that would not allow anyone to talk to the child that was exploited over the internet. Um, as well as I don't know any parent that would actually continue to keep living with a person whose child, like, blended families happen all the time. But if you know this happened, why would you continue to keep being with the person? And why would you allow my children to sleep in the same room with the child that pulled my son's pants down? So with me not being able to have any contact with my children, that's a concern. So, Judge, I'm mentally trying to hold my ish together. Ish is a short term for shit. And I'm not even trying to be vulgar or rude. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what's going on. So you got to understand, with my children not being around me and I'm not knowing what's going on, and this is already prior happened, like this happened maybe a year or so ago. His their father, Dallas, was not allowed to have my children or take my children over his house because of this situation. Um, and I explained in those videos down below, I felt like that was not fair for my children. Yes, their father was still able to come by my home, see them, pick them up from school, do everything that he was supposed to do. My children just were not allowed to go over there. I decided to drop that because my children really miss their father. And that was probably the worst decision that I've ever made, because now my children are in the custody of two adults that I feel like do not care much about sexual assault or abuse, and one parent that I feel like does not care at all about what happens in regards to their children, which that's a very, very touchy topic and something to really be concerned about. But once again, Judge, I'm going to say thank you, because when I connected with Miss Regina at Partnership, I was able to get more information about other people outside of Chattanooga Police Department and the Family Justice Center that will be able to help. And they are going to look for the pictures. hmm They're going to look to see who asked for the nude pictures. They're going to look to see who received the pictures, because she took them. She sent them. Somebody had to receive them. So that's what we have going on at this present moment. I'm literally shaking as I'm talking to y'all about it, because once again, could you imagine? These are my children. And I've already been through it. So I know how that mentally can affect a child. So, like I said, you said she's going to reach out to the father about communicating with the child about what happened, even though I sent the video of my daughter's testimony. So that's major signs for concern because out of my daughter's own mouth, she said what happened. And once again, as y'all can see in those videos, I did not even know most of the information that she was giving me because I didn't know anything about a TikTok video. I didn't know that somebody was communicating with my children under a TikTok video. I didn't even know my children had TikTok. I didn't I didn't advise my children to have the phone. Their father is the one who gave them the phone. So, um, once again, not in my words, but in the lady's words that I spoke with, she's trying to figure out if I hate to even say this. She's trying to figure out if their father is actually being paid for my child's. She's trying to see if he's getting any monetary gain for my daughter's pictures due to the fact that he's not trying to get her actual help and justice to bring whoever asked my daughter for the pictures um to justice or to they need to be arrested, point blank period. They have to be arrested. This is a minor child that you're asking for pictures. That's child pornography. And any two times that a parent will not allow someone to do their job in the situation, they have to look in more depth of that parent and why they are not allowing them to communicate with the child in regards to the situation. I've done everything that I was supposed to. I gave them the information and the tracking number of when I called and made a report for as the 1-800 number for exploiting children, which I've already done that. On my end, I'm doing everything that a parent's supposed to do. And they are looking into why the parent that has custody of the child is not doing that. Because any two times that a child would say they want to harm themselves because someone said they were going to exploit pretty much all over the web, and sent a web page or something like that website. I can't. I don't know if it was Purple Daisy or something about Daisy or flowers. I can't remember, y'all. At the time that this happened and all this was going on, honey, I didn't have my doggone head on straight, honestly, because that just sent me back into a mental state of what happened to me when I was a child. Um, and nothing was done about the situation with me. And I refuse for this to continue to go on. I refuse for my daughter to not get justice for the situation. Yes, I talked to my daughter and I told her, no one, you should never have been pressured. She did tell me that the person over the phone said that her friend was doing it. Now, I don't know if the individual made it seem like they were the same age as my child or not. I do know that my oldest daughter, Sanaya, grabbed the phone from her sister and she was messaging back and forth to the individual saying um, that my child was 9 years old and other situations. So, like I told the lady, my daughter, my oldest daughter, is the one that actually was standing up for her sister at that time. I told the lady once I got the phone and my daughters notified me of it, I replied back to the individual, no, I do not remember the name. But like I said, I still have my daughter's phone. Snapchat, I guess, is still on there because she did not delete it. And they are more than welcome to come and get the phone and get the information that they need, which I will gladly provide. Thank God I know the password to the phone. So we're able to get that, see where those pictures went, see who asked for the pictures. Yes, they are finally now looking for IP addresses and the location that the phone or the pictures were sent to. Y'all, this is too much for someone to do this regarding someone's child. Because if it was your child, how would you feel? So, Judge, I don't mind doing what you asked me to do, but at the end of the day, I'm going to always be a mother and stand up for my kids. Always. And this is more important to why it's being swept under the rug. And like I said, the person in interest in this situation is one of my children's father's other, I don't like saying baby mother, but mother of his oldest child. The same one that got an order of protection out against me when I haven't contacted this man or anyone that he's around. So when I expressed all that, they're looking more into both of the parents involved that have the order of protection out against me. Because right now it seems as if they had plotted this and they are trying to plot a cover up for what happened. All meaning my children are not safe in the custody of these two parents. Thankfully, someone is hearing the situation, and my daughter's testimony cannot be switched around any kind of way because you can't coerce a child that you have not talked to, and they're giving you information about a case or a situation that you didn't even know prior to talking to the child. As well as I have video of my daughters actually making the report about what happened. They in the video it shows that I just stood beside my daughters as they were talking to the officer. I did not jump in. I did not say anything. I didn't ask any. I didn't know what to say. So um, I got that. They contacted me with a family lawyer, like I said, a guardian ad litem or something like that, to be able to stand in my children's defense for what's going on. So the situation, it said I would be contacted within 24 hours um, about the report and about what they have found out. So either she said either Dallas gives them permission to talk to my daughters. Well, actually, all of my children, because all of my children were around, but both of my daughters to be exact. If he does not give permission for them to talk to him, or for my children um, to talk to them, then they will look in more into him and why does he not want to get um, any help for his children or for his daughter in the situation. So once again, Judge, my job is very complicated. I work for my children every day. And this is being before my children was ever taken out of my custody. I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. So I got in touch with the lawyer for this life insurance policy, for is stolen identification because I gave all of everything that I'm telling y'all about. I have proof that I went and got my identification. I still have the paper copy, did not get the hard copy, income tax information. I did not receive my check, so that financially is keeping me in a bind. Um, and he's looking into whatever lawyer that somebody reached out to, because from his understanding, he said that there is a power of attorney over me. He's trying to figure out why I am not being, I can't say taken care of, but why someone else has access to my money when clearly I take care of myself. Now, I know a lot of people said, what money is she talking about? Go look at the videos down below. Go look at the information that was given to you. I don't have a reason to sit here and lie. And I don't understand why I would have been contacted about a life insurance policy if it was supposed to go to an ex-spouse, which not an ex-spouse. It would have to be a current spouse. And my daddy was not currently married when he passed away. So that's a sign of concern. Um, as well as I gave them the information, well, sent pictures of my father's death certificate and the address that was on the death certificate of an address that I've never stayed at all. So we were trying to figure out why I was supposed to be receiving mail at an address that I do not live. Because when I moved out, all of my information was sent to Dallas's parents' house where I was living at the time. I believe I was living with them. I'm gonna say a total of like 4 years before we moved out to Georgia. But when I was notified of my father's death, they came directly to Dallas's home. So I don't understand why any of my mail would have been going to my aunt's house. She's my great aunt. Her name was Mary Smith, which is, like I've said multiple times, my cousin's grandmother. So they're trying to figure out who was receiving my mail from my Aunt Mary's home and not giving me the mail, because that's the address that was on, the death certificate. So anything legal wise, all of that would have been going to that address, the address that I've never stayed at ever. Don't understand why it would even go there, because it should go to 713 North Holly Street, actually, because that was my current address. That was my mom's house, the house that I lived in forever. But my mother passed away when I was 19. So we're trying to figure out how authorities or police actually came to 1503 or 15, I can't remember the address, East 13th Street, which is or was Dallas' parents' home, to notify me of the death of my father. But my mail after 18 years old, because I was notified, I think I was 21 when my father passed away. They're trying to figure out why my mail would be going to an address that I've never stayed. If I was already staying at a home where all of my mail was going to. I mean, you gotta understand, any two times you get state benefits, far as food stamps or anything of that nature, that's where your mail should be going to, because they will look into the system and see where your, you know, actual information, like food stamps or whatever, they would see where that's going to. And they're seeing that the addresses are not the same. So the important information that I need regarding this life insurance and everything else dealing with me before I was supposed to be legally married. Why was it going to another address? Why, when they received the mail, no one gave me any notice of the mail? And again, that's mail fraud. But I've already reported that, and it's just a whirlwind of a whole bunch of mess. I'm going to continue to keep on speaking about the situation because it's not right. And I'm not going to allow anybody to sit here and continuously try to make it seem as if I've done something or if I have a mental issue when they know, they meaning the people that had anything to do with the situation regarding life insurance policies, stolen identification, mail fraud, child pornography, exploitation of my child, minor child, um, home invasion, vandalism of my property, um, and false reports that I'd harmed or hurt anybody or whatever the case may have been, as well as they got my doggone inbox information about one individual saying that I wrote paragraphs or something like that, which is not true, because they seen in the inbox messages that I end up blocking the individual. And I told them I'm not reading all that mess, because the other person was the one sending paragraphs after paragraphs of information that I was not talking about. As well as they seen in those paragraph messages that the individual said that their newly baby's father bought them a gun for a push present. Yeah. So I've never spoken about any weapons talking to this individual, but they actually turned around and said that they were feared for their life when they were the ones that was talking about things that they shouldn't have been talking about. I guess trying to make me fearful of my life, which maybe only God can take my life. He's the one who gave it to me. He's the one who's going to be able to take it. And that's just how it is. So today has been a very trying day. Um, a very irritating day, y'all. I'm trying my best not to smoke them doggone council sticks, but I do believe that I'm finna have to walk to the store and go get one, because my nerves are all over the place. I mean, literally, Judge, this is what I have been going through. So once again, it was not just about a child custody hearing. I know my children should not be in the homes with their father. I'm very protective of my kids, extremely overprotective of my children. Once again, I have been through sexual abuse in a home. I ended up leaving my mother's home before I turned 18 due to sexual abuse by my stepbrother. I have videos down below. And anybody can go ask Bruce Jackson, that's his name. Go ask him about the situation. A lot more people know about it, and I have not been silent about what was done to me. I'm not a silent type of person. So nothing was done about that in regards to me, but I refuse for this case with my children. I refuse for nothing to be done about this situation, okay? So I have almost three lawyers. I have one family justice lawyer, I have one legal aid lawyer helping me with this life insurance policy. Um, everything that's been done under my, oh my goodness, I forgot to tell y'all what the lady found out when she searched my doggone social security number for his disability benefits and all this other stuff that people have been receiving on my name, and I haven't been receiving anything because I gave them my check stubs of me taking care of everything because they're trying to help me with my light bill because it's getting too doggone cold for me to be in a home with prepaid lights and not being able to use no heat. So I guess I'll keep some information to myself. And that's pretty much all y'all gonna hear from me. Hope y'all had a good day. Bye.